Imagine this. Cairo, April 6th, 1960. There's this nervous energy in the air, almost electric. Posters are going up. Fast, big reward, 1,000 Egyptian pounds. Huge money back then. All for any clue, any whisper about this one guy the whole city's terrified of.
Yeah.
The assassin of the intellectuals, they're calling him.
And the fear, you can almost taste it, right? Headlines screaming, people whispering.
Exactly. But here's the really chilling part. This guy, he's not exactly hiding. Picture a taxi pulling over. The passenger, just some ordinary-looking man, shows the driver the newspaper, points to the sketch of this wanted assassin, and he asks, cool as anything, do you recognize him? The driver, maybe tired, maybe scared, just shakes his head.
Okay.
Then the passenger leans in, maybe a little smile, and says, it's me, Mahmoud Amin Suleiman.
Wow. Just openly admitting it. That's incredibly bold. Or maybe something else entirely.
Right. That's who we're diving into today. Mahmoud Amin Suleiman. Considered, one of the smartest, definitely one of the most dangerous criminals in Egypt's history. But what really grabs you, what's so deeply unsettling, is the transformation. I mean, this guy was, on the surface, totally respectable. A university professor, owned a publishing house.
And moved in very high circles. Friends with huge stars, Abdul Halim Hafez, Kulthum, the poet Ahmed Shaki.
Camille El-Shanawi, the journalist. Really embedded in the elite. And then somehow he becomes this incredibly cunning thief. And eventually, a killer. A ruthless one.
It's a staggering shift.
So our mission today, really, is to try and unpack that. Who was this man? What pushed him? What was behind this descent into becoming the assassin of the intellectuals? We're going to peel back the layers. Look at his origins, his crimes, the betrayals, the madness, as people called it.
That opening image, him in the taxi, it really says something, doesn't it? It's not just a fugitive trying to lay low. It feels like the performance.
A performance. How so?
Well, it's this profound need for recognition, maybe notoriety. Like, he wants to control how people see him, even as this infamous figure. It's defiance, almost pathological, taunting everyone.
And that defiance, that need for the spotlight, maybe it started young?
Yeah.
Because his story, it begins way before Cairo, in Abu Tashkina, though he was actually born in Lebanon in 1920. His dad ran a small shipping business there.
Right.
And the first documented incident, the first time he, crossed the line, he was just 7 years old.
7, bro.
Comes home with 4 cucumbers. His mom asks where he got them. He just says, I stole them. Plain as day.
And the reaction.
That's the thing. Indifference. Almost like, clever kid. No punishment, no warning. Just nothing.
That is critical. That lack of boundary setting, especially so young.
Right.
It's like normalizing theft from the get-go. If there's no consequence, no moral pushback, well, you can see how that might escalate. It chips away at the ethics.
And escalate it did.
Yeah.
Fast. By 9 years old.
Yeah.
Just 9. He's in a gang in Lebanon.
Yeah.
He was small, slender, perfect for slipping into houses, and his crimes got bolder. Get this. He stole rifles from a British army camp.
From the army. At 9, that's audacious, doesn't even cover it.
The police were apparently baffled. They just took him back to his dad, who was just stunned. But Mahmoud didn't slow him down. He started his own gang.
Of course he did.
And they aimed high, really high. Tried to rob the house of Camille Chamoun, the former Lebanese president.
A major political figure. That's a huge leap.
It went wrong, though. Badly wrong. A security guard was killed during the attempt. And that landed Mahmoud his first real prison sentence. 4 years for robbery.
Okay, so from petty theft to gang leader to a robbery involving a death, all before he's even properly an adult, it shows this inherent drive for risk, doesn't it? Consequences just didn't seem to register in the same way. Prison wasn't a deterrent, maybe just a learning experience for him.
Seems like it. Because after prison, his father moved back to Egypt. Mahmoud followed soon after. And here's where he makes this conscious shift. His father dies, and Moment decides, right, I'm ditching the past completely.
Total reinvention.
Total reinvention. He aims to become a society star, moves to Alexandria, then Cairo, starts networking, connects with big names like the journalist Mustafa Amin. He crafts this whole new persona, university professor, successful publisher, and he nails it. Integrates perfectly into these elite circles, friends with celebrities, always the big parties. It's kind of amazing how well he pulled it off.
It's extraordinary, really. It speaks to a high level of, social intelligence, manipulation. He understood what currency mattered in those circles, intellect, respectability. It gave him access, deflected suspicion. He weaponized charm.
And he definitely used that access, didn't he? It wasn't just about fitting in.
Oh, absolutely. His social life was his criminal operation, in a way. While he's charming everyone at parties, he's casing the joint. He's mapping layouts, noting routines, figuring out when people are away. It was reconnaissance hiding in plain sight.
And the targets were huge. I mean, these robberies shocked people. The golden palm given to Ahmed Shawki by the king of Bahrain, gone.
A priceless artifact.
He got into Kulthum's villa. Think about that, the security around her.
A national treasure, basically.
There were even reports he tried to rob Field Marshal Abdel Hakim Amer's place, one of the most powerful men in the country.
Yeah, the audacity is just breathtaking.
Over 58 robberies in total, mostly in wealthy areas like Zamalek, Mohandasan, tough places to operate. And his method was slick hit Cairo, then straight back to Alexandria, lie low as the respectable professor for a few days, throw everyone off the scent.
It shows incredible planning. Choosing difficult targets, the quick escapes, maintaining that dual identity. It points to a really compartmentalized mind. He could be the thief, then the academic, without, it seems, much internal conflict, chillingly effective.
But eventually, everyone slips up, right? Even him. His first big mistake was trying to rob the palace of a millionaire named Sabahi in Alexandria.
What went wrong?
He got inside, but there were just too many servants awake, unexpected activity. He couldn't get out clean. They caught him outside the palace.
The unpredictable human element.
Exactly. That got him arrested, sentenced to 2 years for theft. And while he's inside, the police start connecting the dots. Sabahi's robbery makes them look again at other big unsolved cases.
Like the Shawki and Kulthum heists.
Precisely. And suddenly the truth comes out. This respected professor, this charming publisher, friend to the stars, he's the mastermind thief behind all these high-profile robberies. The shockwaves were immense.
You can imagine the ultimate betrayal of that carefully crafted image. It's classic hubris, maybe. He got too confident, one small variable tripped him up, and the whole facade crumbled. And this exposure, this humiliation, it must have changed something inside him. Set the stage for what came next.
A much darker chapter, yeah. Because prison seems to be where he transforms from this, I guess, criminal genius into something else, into the assassin. What triggered that?
It really seems rooted in personal betrayal, deeply personal. First, there was his wife, Awatif. He discovered she wasn't a virgin when they married.
Okay.
And for him, this was apparently catastrophic, a profound betrayal, a complete loss of trust, not just in her, but seemingly in all women. It triggered this huge personal crisis, maybe fueled his paranoia.
Paranoia seems key here.
Very much so. And then came Nawa. She's described as his true love, but also his weakness, the secret of his madness.
How did they meet?
He met her while still playing the part of the influential publisher, seduced her, charmed her away from her poor background, even an existing engagement, used his status, his money, his charisma.
But the love was complicated.
Intensely. He was obsessed, but also incredibly jealous, constantly suspecting her of cheating. He'd talk about it with his lawyer, Bader Eldin, who is his closest friend, his confidant since '58.
Did the lawyer believe him?
Bader Eldin apparently saw how extreme Mahmoud's paranoia was getting. He even urged him to get psychological help, though sometimes even the lawyer admitted Nawal might have, deliberately provoked his jealousy a bit.
A toxic situation.
Extremely volatile, this obsessive love, the intense jealousy, the paranoia feeding on itself. It created this destructive internal loop, and his confidant seeing the need for professional help, that tells you how bad it had become.
And this continued right up until he was imprisoned again after the Sabahi incident.
Yes. The fights, the suspicion, it all carried on. Then in prison, his court cases kept getting delayed. Months dragged on.
Which must have fueled the paranoia even more.
Exponentially. He became utterly convinced that Bader Eldin, his lawyer, his best friend, was intentionally keeping him locked up.
Why?
Because Mahmoud believed Bader Eldin was having an affair with Nawal. This double betrayal, his closest friend, the woman he loved, it just broke something in him. Pushed him completely over the edge.
And that led to the escape plan. The devilish plan, as it was called. He swallowed handfuls of pins, a huge number, to injure himself internally, force a transfer out of prison.
That's extreme.
Self-destructive.
It shows utter desperation and a mind completely consumed by one goal: escape. It worked. They moved him to Qasr El Aini Hospital, and just 1 day later, he was gone. Escaped.
Triggering a nationwide manhunt.
Exactly. The fugitive Mahmoud Suleiman was loose, and his paranoia had solidified into this fixed delusion about Bader Eldin and the wall. It wasn't just suspicion anymore. It was, in his mind, absolute fact, and he was out for revenge.
The moment he was free, he didn't waste any time. He went straight back to Alexandria, right to Nawal's home.
What happened there?
It was horrific. She was there with her mother, sister, brother-in-law. He had a rifle, fired 6 shots, killed the brother-in-law, then fled.
His first murder.
Yeah.
Directly linked to that perceived betrayal.
His next stop, Bader El-Din's office. But the lawyer wasn't there.
Lucky for him.
Unlucky for his secretary. Mahmoud, apparently fearing she'd report him, just killed her. Coldly. And vanished again. That's the horrifying shift right there. No longer about theft. It's about eliminating perceived threats, perceived betrayers. The secretary was just collateral damage in his vengeful quest. Any semblance of a moral compass is just gone.
The city was gripped by panic. Newspapers full of the fugitive assassin. The Interior Ministry put up that big reward, March 3rd, 1960.
And how did Mahmoud react to being the most wanted man in Egypt?
He seemed to almost enjoy it.
Yeah.
In this really twisted way. Remember the taxi story? That started right after the reward was announced. Riding around Alexandria, asking drivers if they recognized his picture, then proudly saying, "That's me."
It's that performance aspect again, trying to sow confusion, appear everywhere at once.
Seems like it. He'd pop up in Alexandria, then Bulak in Cairo. He was even seen taking drugs openly. Just total defiance.
It's like he detached from reality, prioritizing this personal drama, this warped sense of fame over everything else.
He even called the famous actress Tahia Carioca. Threatened her. Said he was coming to her house for money, would hurt her if she refused.
Just terrorizing people randomly.
She called the police immediately, of course. He never showed up. But imagine the fear.
Unbelievable audacity, a mind completely unhinged.
But his time was running out. He headed south towards Upper Egypt, hitchhiked to Beni Suef, got in a taxi. The driver noticed something. A scarf tied around Mahmoud's right hand. Maybe he saw his face properly. Recognized him from the papers.
What did the driver do?
Quick thinking. At a police checkpoint, he left the car running, jumped out, ran to an officer and whispered, "He's in my car. The assassin."
Wow. Brave man.
Mahmoud reacted instantly. Fired shots at the checkpoint, grabbed the wheel of the still-running taxi, and just floored it. Vanished again.
Always reacting, always trying to stay one step ahead.
They found the car later, abandoned near Badrsheen. He'd changed clothes, crossed the Nile towards Helwan. But the police dogs, they were on his trail.
The net was closing in.
They tracked him relentlessly, led the police straight to a cave, hidden away in the Helwan Mountains.
Cornered. His final stand.
It was. 4 p.m. the standoff starts. He's inside. Refuses to surrender.
Did he make demands?
One final, chilling demand. He said he'd only come out if they brought Nawal to him. For revenge.
Even at the very end. Obsessed with her, with that betrayal.
They negotiated for hours, but he wouldn't budge. It ended violently. April 9th, 1960, just 3 days after the reward was announced. 17 bullets. Mahmoud Amin Suleiman was dead.
A brutal end to a brutal saga. That final demand. It really highlights how intertwined his violence, his madness was with that obsessive love and perceived betrayal. It consumed him utterly.
So looking back at this whole story, what do we make of it? Mahmoud Amin Suleiman, it's such a complex picture. A man from a decent background who maybe felt rejected somehow, driven by this intense need for distinction, self-assertion.
It seems that way. First through audacious crime, then through this destructive obsession and violence. His madness, as people saw it, wasn't random. It felt directed, fueled by specific grievances.
And his story just gripped Egypt instantly. Naguib Mahfouz, the great novelist, wrote The Thief and the Dogs less than a year later, directly inspired by him. Cemented his place in, well, criminal history.
It's a powerful cautionary tale, isn't it? About how intelligence, capability, when they aren't anchored by ethics, when they're twisted by deep personal wounds and ego, how destructive they can become. It's a stark reminder of vulnerability, betrayal, and where that dark path can lead.
It really is. Which leaves us with a question, maybe for you to think about. How much of his path was set early on? That childhood audacity never checked. How much was it the later spiral, the love, the intense jealousy, the crushing sense of betrayal?
Yeah.
What does the story of Mahmoud Amin Suleiman tell us about that terrifyingly thin line between genius and madness, especially when human emotion in its rawest form gets thrown into the mix?